Hi, my name is Colin Nesdale. I'm an assistant coach at Yale University, and today we'll be discussing some goalie drills. We'll start with 2 hand-eye coordination drills and follow with 2 drills that emphasize our footwork. Before we begin, I'd like to thank the University of Richmond coaching staff for organizing the Coaching Through Cancellation initiative, and thank the other coaches who have provided some great content and learning material during this time. Our first hand-eye coordination drill is our card catching drill. This drill is used to focus on the skill of tracking a ball, leaving a shooter's stick, and enhance our ability to move with our top hand quickly and efficiently to meet a shot. The picture on the right shows how the drill is set up. We have a goalie crouched in the ready position with his top hand extended on the left. Across from him is his partner standing on a bench to simulate the higher release point of a lacrosse stick. In his hands is a deck of cards face down. He will throw those cards one at a time at our goalie. Our goalie's job is to use his top hand to quickly reach out and grab that card before it falls to the ground. When this drill becomes easy, there are a few variations you can use to increase the difficulty. For one, you can call out the color of the card as you catch them, or you can only catch specific cards. For example, you can only catch the black cards while remaining patient and still in your ready position when the red card is thrown at you. As you can see, the goalie is not moving his feet, but only his hand. Our second hand-eye coordination drill is our top hand square drill. This drill is used to focus on the skill of keeping our hands square to a shot. By doing this, we should be maximizing the surface area of our goalie stick, giving us the greatest opportunity to stop the ball. As you can see on the right, the drill is set up. We have a goalie in the net in his ready position with his stick upside down. Across from him is his partner who has tennis balls, which he will be throwing at the net in predetermined areas of the net. It is the goalie's job to stop the ball using his lacrosse shaft. Specifically, he will try to make contact with the ball using the front, flat, sliver piece of metal on the shaft to try to rebound the ball in the direction it came from. If he did this correctly and the ball goes in the direction it came from, it should show us that his hands are as square as possible to the shot. If he was using a real goalie stick, he would be maximizing the surface area of that stick to stop the ball. If this drill becomes too easy, the shooter can randomize his shot location, shoot the ball in a rapid-fire pace, or change the location of him as a shooter to increase the difficulty for the goalie. The first few clips is the goalie stopping the ball going to high locations on the net. When we move down to our hips, we want the goalie to focus most specifically on its off-stick hip saves. If the goalie is reading the ball to go to his off-stick hip side of the net above his belly button, his top hand should windshield wipe it from his face to make contact with the ball. If the goalie is reading the ball to go below his belly button on the off-stick hip side of the net, then his top hand should go underneath to make contact with the ball. Regardless of where the goalie is reading the ball, he should commit to the movement he is making to give himself the best opportunity to stop the shot. This is an example of our windshield wipe. This is an example of our goalie reading the ball going below his belly button to the off-stick hip side. The shots that are towards the goalie's feet should try to be angled to the ground, which would minimize the rebound if this was a real shot situation. Moving on to our footwork drills, we'll start with our walk the arc drill. This is a very fundamentally sound drill that will establish our footwork as a goalie. The diagram to the right has labeled our 5-step arc. We label the arc from post to post with our 1 spot, our 2 spot, our 3 spot, our 2 spot, and our 1 spot. If the goalie is touching the posts, he is on his 1 spot. If the goalie is square to a shooter in either of the corners of the box, he is at his 2 spot. If the goalie is square to a shooter In the top center region of the box, he is on his 3 spot. When doing this drill, the goalie will walk in a balanced, ready position from his 1 spot post across to his other 1 spot post. He will pause at each of the 5 locations while keeping his hands still, his eyes forward, and his toes pointed at the shooters throughout the drill. To make this drill more game-like and to practice some situations that could happen in regular play, our goalies will practice fast tracking. Fast tracking is moving from 1 spot onto the arc in a rapid movement, skipping a number. For instance, a ball carrier could be near the post, meaning our goalie would be on his 1 spot, and throw the ball to a shooter in the top center of the box, forcing our goalie to get to the 3 spot quickly. When doing this, the goalie should have his eyes follow the ball, his hands should be up, and he should get to that 3 spot as efficiently as possible, catching his balance in his ready position before the shot is taken. Another example of fast tracking is moving from 1 2 spot to the other 2 spot as if the ball was skipped from one corner of the box to the other. When the goalie gets comfortable and confident with all these different movements and locations on the arc, he should practice them with his eyes closed to allow himself to make sure he knows where he is on his arc at all times. The first clip is an example of our traditional 5-step arc going from 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Next is our fast tracking from our 1 to 3 spot. This is our 2 to 2 fast track. Our final drill is our runner's footwork drill. This drill is used to rep how a goalie plays a shooter on the run. The diagram on the right shows the setup of the drill. We have 2 sets of 3 cones set up in either corner of the box. The flags represent where the shooters will begin. For argument's sake, we'll discuss a shooter starting at the red cone where the flag is. The goalie will square himself up on the 2 spot of his arc and follow the dodger as he moves down the alley. When the dodger gets past the goalie's feet, he'll take his next step on the arc to the 1 spot. When doing this drill, you can do it in a progression to allow the goalie to gain confidence and comfortability playing shooters that are moving. The first progression of the drill is to have the shooters not have balls in their sticks and have the option to run routes going down the alley or sweeping across the front of the net. When the goalie gets comfortable trailing the shooter and having quiet feet, meaning he is not taking multiple mini steps along the arc, the shooters can begin to take live shots on the goal. To further challenge the goalie, the shooters can also have the option to roll back, or you can move the cones closer to the cage. This is the second progression of the drill. Our goalie is facing live shots by shooters who are alternating going from line to line. Each shooter can go down the alley or sweep across the top in whatever fashion they like, and the goalie will have to adapt and play that shooter accordingly. That concludes this coaching through cancellation video. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at colin.nesdale@yale.edu. I appreciate you watching and hope you've learned something. Thank you.